Paul Brown said to me, son, act like you've been there before. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, I just barely got on the field. I hadn't been there before. So
I'm glad to be part of that trend. You know, sun's out, guns out.
How about Isaac Curtis on one side, Charlie Joyner on the other side? A lot of quarterbacks were very envious that I had those two weapons to throw to, but...
Now, wait a minute. Is it fair that Pat McAnally is still the sexiest guy on our team? Is that...
You got me there. You got me good.
Donald, how you gonna be in that video not represent with a chain? Your tango, man. I got mine on. I'm ready to go.
Oh, that's great. That's priceless.
There are two guys that I think it's a travesty that are not in that Hall of Fame.
Ken Riley and Ken Anderson. Yeah, sure.
Let's put the backdrop on, Jamie. See if Marissa's okay with it.
Yeah, I got her backdrop. Starting the Canadian fan club up here for you.
That is so funny.
My last touchdown, and that's what Joe Burrow's going to end up like if they don't start protecting his ass. It's going to be the next David Klingler, David Klingler.
There's no Spanish-speaking people here, very few. So we, fast forward, we go to the Super Bowl in Miami, and the word was the Bengals have two big Mexican offensive linemen. They don't know how to speak Spanish. So I got down there and started doing these interviews in Spanish, and they're like, "Wait, we heard you don't speak Spanish."
What's going on, fellas? What's going on? But I got on the plane one day in an all-red Suge Knight suit. And boy, Joe Walters and the linemen, they destroyed me. I thought for sure I was so clean. I had some gaiters on, all red suit on. I was Suge Knight. They roasted me.
The head coach was the really the pain in the butt. Jerry Glenn, he would thought he was. If you didn't know who he was, he walked out there like he owned his state. And I always say, if I could get a chance to hit him on the sideline, I would.
I'm tackling your ass, Pete. I'm shoestring low on you.
But I got to tell you, you have been stepped on, son. You would have had cliques everywhere.
Well, I'm proud to be a Bengal. Yes, I'm proud to be a Bengal. Always been. I got nothing from you guys.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Talking Football with Bengal Jim and friends. And, guys, it's good to see you on the screen. And, Jamie, we missed you up in Canton, brother. We had a great time. But we're going to talk a lot of Jungle to the Hall here in a minute. But let's talk about a couple quick happenings here. So June 18th was the last day for voting for the Ring of Honor, guys. Everybody got their votes in, right?
Yes.
So Thursday night is when they're rolling out the Ring of Honor against the Jacksonville, the induction game, basically that Thursday night national TV game. So pretty exciting. I think, Tom, we heard that they're going to be announcing who those two are going to be here probably late July, it sounds like.
Was just confirmed to us a little while ago. Yeah, late July, and we all have our favorites, and hopefully the two that I think we're all thinking of will be named.
Got it. Well, everybody that's watching, appreciate you being here with us tonight. Hey, just wanted this is normally should be kind of our off season before we get to regular season. So I know we've been kind of off and on every other week with some things. We won't be back next week because of 4th of July. So this is kind of supposed to be our off season a little bit, but we keep coming on. Because there's too much stuff going on right now. So it's good to see James and Jamie. And we were just talking to Jamie. It looks like Jamie's going to be coming in for some games this year. He's not sure about opening day or not. But, Jamie, we can't wait to see you, buddy. You're muted.
Yeah, producer doesn't even know how to unmute himself. I'm looking forward to coming down, guys. Looking forward to coming down. Hopefully both games. We'll see.
It's going to be good. Hey, real quick, I do want to – we're going to bring we do have Ken Riley II on here with us this evening. Willie Anderson is supposed to join us here around 8:30, 8:35 as well. We're going to kind of recap the Jungle to the Hall with those guys, celebrate Ken's career and talk about Willie's career again. And just a very emotional weekend or this past Saturday up in Canton. Just an amazing, amazing time. And I want to thank some people right now. And I just want to first of all, Tom, you did a hell of a job kind of running through those 8 guys and kind of facilitating that. You did a hell of a job. And James, I don't think we could have pulled it off without everything that James did as well, and Tony and Carrie, and my wife Trisha was selling T-shirts, and everybody that was there in attendance. Over 200 Bengal fans showed up for this event. Willie Anderson, some friends came up, and I know there would have been more people there. The night before, there was a big storm in Cincinnati. There was like 40,000 people in Cincinnati that didn't have electric, even Saturday. So that kept a lot of people from coming up to camp, but still over 200. And I know a lot of people had to work and they couldn't get in town. You were there in spirit with us, and we appreciate everybody's support. These legends completely appreciate everything that you guys are doing as a fan base to help and support and celebrate their careers. So, James, say something about this, bro. I was just taken aback by everything that went on this past weekend.
Yeah, just the energy that was there was astounding. We did that intro at the beginning, and I think it was at 9 different states: Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, New York, South Dakota, West Virginia, Florida. I mean, it was just crazy, the people that came from far and near to support the event, and we appreciate each and every one of you. And like you said, Jim, some couldn't be there in person, but supported it through the social media channels. And if you want to go back and look at all the great pictures from that day, check that hashtag Jungle to the Hall. And what a great day. And from the videos to Willie being there, just a first class event. A lot of work was put into it on the back end, and it came off great. So as you alluded to, everybody behind the scenes that helped out, that pitched in, whether it was projector screen, Tony, our security / bouncer / he was actually working the producer keyboard too, with controlling the volume, Jamie. So now we have like a backup to the backup.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
Everybody just pitched in, and just loud, before we even started, the round of applause that Willie got when he walked in. It was just, the place was filled with energy from the videos, as you mentioned too, what Tom talked about and the history of the 8 gentlemen that we represented. It was just a first class event. And of course, we also did the deal at the beginning where we raised the hand, and how many people was their first time to Canton to the Hall of Fame, which was probably 75%. It was a big number. So
yeah, James, actually that's a great point, buddy. And what's even crazier, it was the first time Willie Anderson had ever been there. So we're going to talk to Willie about that as well.
Yeah.
I do see Frank in the chat room here. So we got a young guy with a young kid with a Bengals outfit on, a Bengals helmet, walks in, his dad wearing all Bengal gear. It was Frank and Frank from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, coming in with their Bengal gear. That was a great sight to see. And
Mini Frank beat me. They had a Madden thing inside the Hall of Fame, and Mini Frank beat me at that. So kudos to him. But yeah, it was a diverse crowd from all over the country, and a lot of these people that have interacted with us on social media. But it was the first time they've been able to come to an event, especially with COVID last year, and it was great to put a face to name and share beers with them at the brewery on both Friday and Saturday nights, and it was just a fun Father's Day weekend. So kudos to all. Thank you to everyone that joined us, and stay tuned for some more fun events. We got another big announcement tonight about another fun event.
Yeah, big time. And guys, just the Jungle to the Hall. Our
go ahead, Tom.
I'm sorry, but what struck me being up there and inside the hall, especially in that part of Ohio, was the number of people that worked at the Hall of Fame that weren't just casual football fans, but were big Bengal fans and were very supportive of what we were doing and the candidacy of the guys we were talking about, but particularly the 3 we sort of highlighted.
Yeah. And then just to let everybody know, just because the Jungle to the Hall was a huge success and it's done and over with, doesn't mean we're done with the fight, guys. So stay tuned on social media, at the @Bengals Hall of Fame Twitter account, our Twitter and Facebook pages. More needs to come, and we need to kind of keep pushing this through the finish line here over the next 30 to 60 days, especially for the seniors. We'll talk about that in a minute. But we have a video. I know a lot of people don't follow us on Twitter, and some people aren't on Facebook very, very much. But Jimmy, can you play the one video that shows kind of a panoramic view of the people that were there that day?
Sure.
Just to give everybody an idea of the crowd we
I
had
think
there.
we're all insanely proud that we have players or have had players like Ken Anderson, like Ken Riley, like Willie Anderson.
I mean, that's just an amazing view right there. And as you heard, that was Paul from Bengals UK who did a quick introduction video for us. We had Elizabeth Blackburn, Max Montoya, Mel Blount, and Joe Goodberry, and Michael Strahan. We had video after video, just great stuff. And Willie Anderson spoke that Saturday as well. So good stuff. I want to thank everybody, but the fight's not over, guys. We got to keep it pushing here, guys. So kind of moving on right now. I do want to get into, we're going to bring on Josh, our Bengal super collector, because there are a couple things we're going to talk about here. First thing we're going to do, however, is we're going to talk about some memorabilia, Josh, and you have 4 or 5 items we want to talk about, right? And you're on mute, buddy.
Sorry about that. Seems to be the trend of the night. Yeah, I brought some stuff to show you guys tonight.
All right, and Jamie, you have those pictures up. You can pull them up.
Sorry, guys. Give me 1 sec.
It's all right.
Give me 1 sec.
No worries.
Tell us some jokes, Josh, while Jamie's getting those queued up.
I would like to take the opportunity to talk about the Canton trip. It was awesome. It was awesome to meet AJ, his daughters, Jungle Joe, Chris, Cookie Girl Wells. Just, awesome time. And we're building a small monster here, man. We're all excited about the season. The next 10 years in Cincinnati is going to be fun. And I was proud to meet some new friends, and it was just a great time.
Yep.
Okay, so go ahead.
Go ahead, Josh. No, go ahead.
All right, so I chose this tonight. This is actually from the 2017 season when we did the 50th Bengal anniversary. That is every single one of the players that made the top 50. And a buddy of mine made that poster right there. It's a really cool poster. It's got number 1 through 50. As we all know, Anthony Munoz was number 1. Stanford Jennings came in at number 50. A lot of great fan events. And we got another announcement for a fan event coming up that we'll talk about a little later. I'm going to help one of you guys watching the show get one of those posters, and we'll tell you how later. Go ahead to the next one. This is actually a trash can from the 70s, and it actually has the Bengals depth chart on it. I chose to show this tonight because our guys, Ken Riley and Ken Anderson, are on that trash can. That one's in great shape. It's got Gary Burley on there and Bob Trumpy, just a lot of Bengals legends. That's a great piece right there, man. And it's got all the guys that we love, and it's got the guys that we tried to get into the Hall of Fame. Ken Riley, Ken Anderson featured on that trash can. That's an awesome piece.
Hey, Josh, I'm looking here. I got like 6 to 8, 7 garbage cans right here. That is the one. It is on my list that I need. So that is a great piece. That's a really, really hard find right there for sure.
Yeah, it is.
And what year did you say that's from, Josh?
I think I'd have to look, but I think it said it's 76.
Jamie wasn't even born then.
I was not.
I've seen this before, Josh.
Yeah, so back in the early 90s, it was actually the World Wrestling Federation came out with these sling buddies, Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior. The NFL jumped right into the market and called these tackling dummies. They had Randall Cunningham, they had Warren Moon, Joe Montana, but they got our guy Boomer Esiason. So that's actually like a pillow right there. Made, I believe, like Tonka made those. Those are awesome, man. They got the facsimile Boomer Esiason autograph on the sleeve, on the wristband there. Those are pretty rare. You can find them out there, but that's a really cool piece as well.
That is almost like scary, like a Chucky doll. That thing, Boomer looks scary as hell, man.
Between that and that 3-foot Corey Dillon bobblehead, I know I hear chatter in the basement when I'm upstairs.
I'm not going down your basement at night in dark shit.
This is actually a piece. It was a print made through Jake Sweeney Automotive. They would actually bring Boomer and Chris in for publicity, for commercials, and this one is not signed. However, they would give these away when people would buy a car or even pop in to look at a car. So these prints are floating around out there, and it's just another pretty cool 80s print. The prints were huge in the 80s. Boomer's in a lot of them, but that's the only one I can think of I've seen with Chris Collinsworth in.
Yeah, that's a cool print.
And then,
was one more memorabilia piece?
There was.
No, the next picture is going to be of the.
Let's stop there. So, as Josh was saying, Josh got to meet, and everybody that was interacting with folks up in the Jungle to the Hall got to meet and talked and hang with some people that we've been interacting with in social media, whether it be Facebook or Twitter. And Josh got to meet Tony the Tiger and Kerry. And there was a special moment there, and I'd like you to be able to talk about that. And Jamie, you can pop up that picture.
So this is kind of the highlight of my early part of the trip there. We had just left Massillon, and Kerry and Tony the Tiger come up to introduce themselves. Of course, he's locally famous. Before he even got to me, I'm like, Tony, I already know who he is. And he came up to me, and he said he had watched the first show where James said, I know something that Josh doesn't have. And he held up the Tony Award. And that's a picture right there of Tony the Tiger. He's presenting me with my first Tony Award, the 2021 Tony Award for Best Bengals Memorabilia Collector. So I appreciated it. I ran around and found James, and I said, look, I'm in the club finally. And it was a really cool moment, something cool to take home. There we go, Tom.
Oh, man, now you're going to make me grab mine, guys. Jeez.
Jeez, you guys keep switching before. There we go. Tony, I do have mine on my shelf at home. I'm just not at home right now. So don't be offended. I'm not holding mine up.
Jamie dusted every other day when it's not a dust collector there. Well, hey, let's continue the conversation, Josh. So we have been working for the past few weeks trying to pin down some stuff here. But guys, as we've been talking about all of the past few weeks in social media, we have another event. And I feel like we're not purposely scheduling these events all the time, right? This is only like the second big thing we've done outside our tailgates. But August 28th, I need everybody to save that date. August 28th, we are doing a Bengal Jim and Friends Memorabilia Roadshow. And we're still working out some details, but it's from 5 to 7 o'clock on the 28th of August. It's going to be at 16 lots. David Fulcher will be there. There's plenty of food, drink, beer. We're going to be doing a focused charity that entire week, even the day of the event for David Fulcher and his charity. And Josh, go through a little bit about paint a picture of what we want this thing to look like. And we'll give more detail out on social media over the next few weeks.
Absolutely. So I only brought a couple things for you guys to see tonight because I wanted to talk more about this show. I had such a great time in Canton meeting some fellow Bengals fans, and I feel like that was what I really took out of it, is that there's a lot of people and fans who are just as passionate about this thing as we all are. That's why we do this. It's why you tune in. And Jim and the guys and I got together, and we thought, let's throw an event that's for the fans, thrown by the fans. So basically what we want you to do is kind of capitalize on what we do here, and we show off memorabilia. We want you to show up at 16 lots with us on August 28th. We want you to come in, bring your most prized Bengals possession, and we want you to get up and we want you to talk about it. We want you to share the story of how you got it, what it means to you. I can't quite remember the name, but a couple weeks ago, a guy had sent in an autographed 8x10 of Andy Dalton. Okay, it's an autographed 8x10 of Andy Dalton. But what was significant about it was his son was in the crowd right over Andy's shoulder, and it's autographed. That's a great story. And those are the kind of stories that we want you guys to come out, meet us, have a beer, and share with us, and we're going to get the Bengals fans together. As I've said, we're building a monster in Cincinnati. We're building a fan base that's like no other. And the most important thing that we have is that we're going to get to know each other, and we're all going to do it together. We're going to watch this greatness go together. And we want you guys to come out. We want you to have a beer. We want you to share a great story. We do have David Fulcher coming in. He's going to bring some stuff from his playing career, and he's going to tell us why he kept it and what those things mean to him. Don't really want to put any names on it, but we do have a couple Bengals players that are going to show some videos that we're going to show, what they kept from their playing career, why they kept it. So you can see that even the players have memorabilia that means things to them, just like we have memorabilia that means things to us. So we definitely want you to come out. We're going to have a Bengals trivia contest that night for the fans. We're going to have a buy, sell, and trade table for David Fulcher's charity. He's going to do some autographs, and he's going to do some pictures for his charity as well. So there'll just be a lot going on for the fans. It'll be, kind of our way of all getting together and just having another great event for Bengals fans. So,
and Josh, this is freaking awesome, buddy. It's, we're going to, James and I talked the other day, we're going to do this. We're going to stream this from 5 to 7 o'clock. Jamie, somehow we're going to figure this out. We're going to stream a show from there. It's going to be like the Antique Roadshow where people are sitting there talking about the stories behind some of this memorabilia is what we want people to hear. We want you to share. So, James, any other feedback on this? This is going to be a great day.
It is. If you remember, this will be the third event we've done from 16 lots. We did a show back in when was that? It was summer of last year, and then we had the great charity event that we did for the Ken Anderson Alliance and the Green Beret Foundation. Everybody knows the great 16 Lots beer that we have at the tailgate. Dell and his crew. I think congrats to Dell. Our buddy Dell just celebrated his 1 year anniversary with 16 Lots, and there's food there. So come on up, have dinner, enjoy your 16 Lots. As Josh said, David Fulcher is going to be there, and this is going to be another fun event. And it also, the next day is our preseason game against Miami at 4:00. So you can make a weekend out of it. Come in Saturday night to hang out with us. Beer, food, Bengals memorabilia, stay. And then Sunday we have what I believe is the final preseason game against the Dolphins Sunday at 4 on the 29th. So 16 Lots has always been a gracious host for us, and we look forward to another fun event there end of August.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, guys, Josh, thanks, buddy. We'll kind of narrow down some of the details, and we'll be able to get this communication out across social media here sometime this week. But save the date, 8/28, 5 to 7 is the Memorabilia Roadshow. I'm sorry, 5 to 7. Then at 7 o'clock, there's going to be Bengals trivia that night as well. They usually do trivia night that night. So that event's going to be from 5 to 7. We will stream it. But then from 7 o'clock on will be the trivia and prizes and fundraiser. It's just going to be a great event. It's going to be a great time. Josh, we appreciate it, buddy, and we'll talk again here earlier in the week.
All right, buddy. I'll see you guys. Who does?
See you, big dog. See you, buddy.
Josh.
Okay. It's good stuff, man. That's going to be I'm real excited about that event, man. That's going to be fun.
It's definitely going to be fun. And if you haven't been to 16 Lots, Dell's, watch their social media, all sorts of new beers. They're unveiling new flavors, summer flavors. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
And there may, without getting any other detail, drop a couple hints and suspense here. There's going to be a big announcement coming very soon from 16 Lot about a very, very special beer that you're probably going to have access to at the tailgate this year as well. It's going to be a blast. So we'll see everybody the 28th. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So let's get rolling here. We've got Ken Riley in the waiting room, and we're a little bit behind for Ken Riley II. So let's go ahead and bring him on if we can, Jamie. What's up, Ken? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, how's it going?
Man, sorry, we're running a little bit behind here, buddy.
Oh, no worries. I'm just enjoying the stories. Seems like y'all always have something big going on. It's good to hear that.
Well, Kim, hey, we appreciate it. I know usually last time we had you on, we were playing Dad's old interception videos, his first interception. And, I didn't go dig through any highlights, Ken, because we really just want to talk about, the event that happened this past weekend up in Canton. And, man, we first of all we just had a great time, Ken, celebrating your dad's career up there in Canton with over 200 other Bengal fans. It was so loud in that tent. There was people trying to walk to the front door of the Hall of Fame that kept stopping in our event tent asking what was going on there. Are they inducting a Bengal in the Hall of Fame? It was so loud. The energy, like James was saying, was outstanding. But we were celebrating 8 Bengal legends' careers, including your dad's. And we want to – Ken, you went out of your way to do a video for us, and we played that video for the 200-plus Bengal fans that were there that day. And it was outstanding. And we appreciate you doing that for us because I know you wanted to be there in person. But share the story, if you could, Ken, that you shared in that video, because you and I first initially talked about that, and you were thinking, you know what, I'm going to be there. Then you were like, hey, maybe I'm not going to be there. But share that story of the why behind that, Ken, why you didn't show up.
Yeah, I mean, I really wanted to be there, and it was great to see all the fans there. But just in passing, pretty much ever since my father retired, every year I would push and, reach out to, a lot of the voters. And just over time, I was just like, I told him, I was like, I'm not going until you are officially inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He's been there several times. He was there actually maybe 3 years ago when they actually moved the Black College Hall of Fame, because it used to be housed in the same building as the College Hall of Fame in Atlanta, but then they eventually moved it to Canton. So he was there, I guess that was about 3 years ago. And I could have had the opportunity to go at that time too, but I was like, no, I'm not going. And I told him that. And so when this opportunity came up, I really wanted to be there, but just something I was just like, nope, I'm going to wait until that day happens. So, Looks like it was a great event, and like I said, the fans are outstanding. I can never say enough, and just thank you for all all of y'all just putting that together, because I know it was very time consuming, and it took a lot of work to get it done, to put it all together. So hats off to you all, and hats off to all the fans that showed up. I really appreciate it. I know Willie Anderson says it a lot, but I know a lot of players are old school and don't, have social media, don't get on it. But it's really great to see not only the support that fans have for former players, but current players. So I mean, it just amazes me. So thank you all for, what all y'all continue to do.
Question for you, Ken. We saw that Mel Blount video talking about your dad. Tell us what your initial reactions were when you first saw that video.
Well, it's a great fraternity, and I had the privilege of talking to Mel Blount several times. He actually used to come down to my dad's golf tournament, but it's just amazing, and it really warms your heart, because he's one of the all-time greats himself, and for him to have that respect from my father, and they played twice a year, and it was some great battles. So for him to have that respect and come for him means a lot, because he actually played the position. So somebody that's actually been in the world and played that same position, to have that really means a lot. Like I said, it's a big following him, but Kenny Houston with the Oilers and the Redskins, it never gets old, and I appreciate them taking the time to do that. It really means a lot.
You cut out a little bit there, Ken, but we heard the gist of that. Tom has a question for you as well, my friend.
Hey, Ken, okay. We've heard a little bit varying versions, but your father, a great college quarterback, gets drafted by the Bengals. Just so happened that year the Bengals drafted Greg Cook #1. As the story goes, and correct me if I'm wrong, very casually, Paul Brown just walked up to him either at rookie camp or training camp and just casually mentioned, "You're a cornerback now." Did he ever talk to you playing cornerback in college, about the transition? I mean, today we hear these stories, first-round cornerbacks, it takes a year or two to be ready. He, in a month or two, he was starting and already grabbing interceptions on his way to a career that, quite frankly, guys that played cornerback that are already in the Hall of Fame would have killed to have had. Did he ever talk to you about how quick he made that transition?
Well, yeah, all the time, because I playing that same position, it really, I really grew so much more respect for him, because that's really unbelievable. All through college, he only played quarterback. And then to make that transition to the highest level is remarkable. And it was more like, yes, you're playing cornerback. And then, Coach Brown said, what are you going to do? But that was one of the things that my dad was super competitive. He was a quiet guy, but he was ultra competitive. And he took it as a challenge. And it's just amazing to me how he was able to make that transition from, quarterback to a defensive back, and under the pressure of playing for the, in the NFL. And he tells the story, too, that it was more like he just recently got married to my mom. And then, he's going to, just got married, going to be having my sister, my daughter, his daughter. So, just trying to make the team, balancing that, and then transitioning to play defensive back. And back then, it was like a, 8-week camp, and it was like 40. He's like 40 secondary players. So 40. And, each day there was somebody, dropping off. So, it was just a lot of pressure. It was I just can't imagine going through that. Not only trying to learn a new position, but trying to compete with so many guys that, played that position all their entire career. So it's just an amazing story.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable story, and it's a great story. So, Ken, we appreciate you joining us. So I want one more thing I want to run by you here. And this is for, right now, for all of our viewers right now, because as you know, as we've talked many, many times over many months, Ken, about the lack of transparency and, how this process works for the seniors. So I know we got a little bit of a connection issue, so I'm going to kind of verbalize this and get your feedback on this. But the way we understand it, your dad is in the senior voting, obviously, right, with the seniors, and there's only one senior that's going into the Hall of Fame this next run. Okay, one player. So the 9 senior voters, who we know who they are, we've got some of their social media, we've got their emails. We've been very good about not overwhelming, but we're giving them data and analytics and all the stuff around your dad and Ken Anderson, the whole 9 yards. So those 9 senior voters are supposed to get their ballots here sometime early July. And then sometime by end of July or early August, they're supposed to recommend one player for induction, which gets voted on in February. Do I have that pretty close to being accurate?
That's absolutely correct from what I understand. Like I said, it'll be that one senior vote. I don't know if y'all can hear me because I'm breaking up. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. But I know last year it was told that it was between Drew Pearson and my father came down to the wire. But only one senior candidate will be chosen from that pool by the end of July, which will be then the final announcement will be made in February during the Super Bowl weekend with the rest of the finalists from the other pool. So only one senior candidate. That is correct, though. So sometime in end of July.
Yeah. So it does sound like if the 9 seniors on that committee, senior voters in that committee, their recommendation, more often than not, that's the one that's going to get voted in February. That's typically how it works. Is that way you understand it as well, Ken?
Yes. So that one candidate that goes in with the modern day players, majority of the time, if they make it to that modern day final list, then there's a good chance they will go ahead and be elected to the as one of the selectees.
Okay. Well, hey Ken, we just want to let you know that Jeff Hobson and the Cincinnati Bengals are working really hard for Dad as well, and we will continue. The Jungle to the Hall was just a process. When we want to get national, local attention, which Bengal fans did, there was not just local media involved in that event up there, but there was national media talking about this. I mean, we had people on the West Coast on podcast talking about why is there only one Bengal in it? And then they went down the list of our 8 Bengals that we were talking about. So we got tons of national exposure, and that's what we're going to continue to do as a fan base. We just don't want these guys to be forgotten about. We just need them front and center, Ken. And I'm just going to tell you, Bengal Nation will continue to do what they're doing. And Tom and I talked about this earlier this week. Now's the time to continue to push everybody. Look, guys, we need to do this respectfully, politely. We do not want to piss anybody off in any way, shape, or form. Yeah. But now's the time, Ken, and we're going to continue to fight on. We're going to do what we can from a fan base for you too, buddy.
Well, again, like I said, it doesn't go unnoticed, and I truly and my family truly appreciates it. And like I said, I definitely see it. I know the players that are on social media see it, and you guys are great. Like I said, I can't thank you guys enough. You guys are awesome. The Who Dey Nation fan base is awesome, and hopefully one day get to meet you all. I got a chance to meet Jim already, which is cool. So hopefully one day I get to meet the rest of you guys. And again, thank you for all you're doing, and keep up the good work, man. You guys are great.
Yeah, and just to let you know, when Dad gets inducted into the Ring of Honor here in Cincinnati that Thursday night, buddy, we got a beer for you at the tailgate, man. We can't wait to see you.
Hey, I'll be there. I'll be there.
Ken, keep your word to me. You got to wear your dad's hat when you come up.
Hey, I'll wear whatever you want. If I can find it, I definitely will wear it.
All right, Ken, we appreciate your time, man. Tell the family we said hey, and thanks again.
Will do. Thank you, guys.
Right, Who Dey, buddy? We'll see you.
Appreciate it. Yeah, great video that he put together there, and then obviously Mel's video tied into what Tom had to say. It was just it was good. It was perfectly fitting, and you look at those numbers. We know Ken needs to be in. There's a lot of Bengals that need to be in, and again, keep beating the drum, and let's do it in a respectful way, and it'll happen. Keep the faith.
Yep. So Willie is not in the waiting room. I just texted him. He said around 8:30, 8:35. Probably would have had Ken on a little bit longer. He was having some connection issues there, guys. I guess what I'd like to be able to do, Jamie, are you able to find the one video, the YouTube video that Joe Goodberry did?
Yeah, you want to play that?
Yeah. So before you pop that up, guys, and again, I think the people that were there at the event saw this, and I thought it was very interesting, and the reaction, the emotion that was shown by Willie Anderson. He had not seen those two videos. The Michael Strahan video I had just gotten the night before, and I told him, hey, we're just going to play this the day of the Jungle to the Hall, if he was okay with that, because I wanted him to be the raw reaction to that. And it was funny because we played this Joe Goodberry video. And Joe Goodberry, if you don't know, if you're on Facebook and not Twitter, but he's an analytics guy. He's an amazing guy. You can love him or hate him all you want. He's very specific and factual. And we asked him to do a video for us for Willie. And this is probably the most powerful. There was things on this video. It's about 3 minutes. There were three things on this video that Willie didn't even know about. So there's some things I want you to keep focused on here. There's some stats in this video. Now, I asked Joe to do a very short video. I said, I can't have a 3 to 5 minute video. Well, it was like 2 minutes and 58 seconds. So he talked a little fast. So Jamin's going to play this video, but please watch this. And this is where, towards the end of this is where Willie kind of got extremely emotional on some stuff. So go ahead and play that if you could, Jamie.
And what I believe is the best right tackle in modern football history. That, of course, is Willie Anderson. In 13 NFL seasons, Willie Anderson played 195 games, rarely missing a start, was honored with 4 Pro Bowls from 2003 to 2006, was an alternate in 01 and 02, and had 3 straight All-Pro honors from 2004 to 2006. Known for being a powerful run blocker, Willie Anderson, with that massive frame, strong hands, and quick feet, blocked for some of the best running backs in Bengals history. Not just blocking for 6 1,000-yard seasons for Corey Dillon and 3 1,000-yard seasons for Rudy Johnson, Anderson helped block for the games that broke the single-game rookie rushing records, the single-game total rushing record, and Cincinnati Bengals' franchise best running games and running seasons. But Anderson also became a master technician and a fantastic pass-blocking offensive lineman. Quarterbacks that saw their best NFL seasons were Jeff Blake, Carson Palmer, John Kitna, who had Comeback Player of the Year, and Joe Flacco's rookie season. The receivers that gained 1,000 yards while benefiting from Anderson's blocking may be equally as impressive. Chad Johnson saw 6 1,000-yard seasons, T.J. Hishmanzada with 2, Carl Pickens with 2, Darnay Scott with 1, and Derek Mason with 1 in Baltimore. But what makes Willie Anderson an all-time great right tackle? Don't take my word for it. Let the voters for the All-Pro, for the Pro Bowl, coaches and players. They've said it with their honors. In an era that included Willie Roaf, Jonathan Ogden, Orlando Pace, and Walter Jones, it was incredibly hard to crack the Pro Bowl and All-Pro lists, especially as a right tackle. And Willie Anderson did it. How difficult was this to do exactly? During Willie Anderson's career, there were 105 Pro Bowl offensive tackle seasons. Only 14 times was it a right tackle. Willie Anderson earned 4 of those. The last right tackle to make 4 straight Pro Bowls was Jackie Slater between 85 and 90. As far as All-Pro nods go, 95 offensive tackle seasons were honored. 11 were for right tackles. Willie Anderson accounted for 3 in a row. How rare is that to do 3 in a row? The last one was in the 1970s, Dan Deerdorf, but you can also include Ron Yary and Rayfield Wright from the 70s. Those 3 guys saw 3 All-Pro honors in a row, and it hasn't been done since. And those 3, plus the aforementioned Jackie Slater, are all in the Hall of Fame. Those 4 guys are the ones that you should compare Willie Anderson to, and he compares favorably. Over the last 40 years of modern football, only Willie Anderson was awarded with 3 straight All-Pro honors as a right tackle. I wish we had today's advanced analytics back then. Services like Pro Football Focus graded Willie Anderson's final 3 seasons in his NFL career, and in his final season with the Cincinnati Bengals, 2006, Willie Anderson allowed just 11 pressures and 1 sack all year. His 98.9 pass block efficiency rating only trailed Jonathan Ogden's 99%. It's been said that Anderson only gave up 16 sacks in his 13-year career, so it isn't a stretch to imagine that most of his NFL seasons look just like this. And you may say, well, he played on the right side. And I would say, well, he played 15 games against Hall of Fame edge rushers, and he surrendered 1 sack to the all-time sack leader Bruce Smith with just 19 seconds to go while the Bengals are down by 2 scores. It happens. One of those Hall of Famers, Michael Strahan, says Willie Anderson is the generation's best right tackle. But I think it goes a step further. I think he's the best right tackle in modern football history, and his accolades and honors agree. And because of all that, I believe that Willie Anderson is very deserving of the opportunity to be enshrined in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
So I think Willie's now in the waiting room. I think he might have saw it a little bit towards the end of that video, everybody. So if we could bring Willie on now, if he's ready, Jamie. What's going on, big dog? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, fellas, how's it going?
Good, man. Good. Hey, today's mom's birthday, right?
Exactly. We down here in Georgia at Lake Oconee.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh man. Getting ready to be sunset down there. But Willie, hey man, we won't keep you long, man. But I look, man, we as a fan base, you were up in Canton last Saturday, and I know there was a lot of raw emotion in there during that event, as you heard Michael Strahan talk about you, and Joe Goodberry put together that great 3-minute video that we have already emailed to all the voters for you, Willie, so they can see that video. So they have that video right there. But you didn't play a position, Willie, where you got to touch the ball every time, and you weren't a quarterback or a receiver, but you've got to be one of the top 5 most loved Cincinnati Bengal players in Cincinnati football history, man. And we love you. We appreciate you showing up there. We had a fun time in Canton celebrating your career with you, buddy.
Man, it was definitely great, man. My family and friends who came with me, they couldn't believe it. I tried to explain to them a little bit what it's going to be, but I couldn't really explain to them everything because I really didn't know myself. But once we got up there, we had a ball, man, and you guys saw me. The emotions were real. As offensive linemen, there's not a lot of times that guys get a chance to hear good things about themselves. So when I do hear, the emotion is definitely real. It was a great experience, man, and I wish more guys could have came to it and experienced the same thing that my family and friends and I did.
Yeah, it was awesome. So what was funny, I was just telling everybody right before you were coming on, Willie, that you and I have been texting and talking for a while prior to the event, and we had just gotten the Michael Strahan video the night before, and I had gotten the Joe Goodberry video, and you didn't want to see him. You said, no, I'm going to see it live for the first time. So when we were, I just want everybody to know that wasn't at the event. When we were playing the video for Willie, for Michael Strahan video and the Joe Goodberry video, I wasn't watching the monitor. I was watching Willie. And there's a picture, Jamie, if you could pull up, and it really got to see this side of Willie Anderson, got to just kick your ass on the football field to see this emotion coming out of Willie. And Jamie, if you could find that picture, and pop it up for us, that'd be great. But Willie's raw reaction as soon as his videos were played, you kind of dropped a tear there, Willie. And there was some local media and some national media that were taking pictures. So you saw it. We got you, man.
No doubt.
There it is.
No doubt. I was filming. I watched it. I'm like, geez, like some of the stuff that Joe was saying, I didn't know myself. And for years, I've kind of looked on YouTube for different footage of myself, and I've searched for years. And I mean, I've been retired for 13 years now, and I've searched for footage myself, and I never could find footage. So when I saw that, I was like, damn, like they really got me right here. And the things he was saying about myself, I knew some of the stuff, but then some stuff I did not know. And what you see in the picture is just me, just being grateful, man. Being grateful that someone took the time to kind of look up my stuff and say those things about me. My entire career, I've been a guy who's pushing and trying to help others and try to downplay my own self. And my friends would always tell me, man, quit doing that. But it was my personality, and I used to always say that I wish one day someone would speak for me. And I think you guys did a good job of speaking for me, and that's why you guys saw the emotion come out of me at the event.
Yeah, and Willie, it's funny because as we're kind of doing research and Joe putting his stuff together, and we're kind of talking to Joe, and Joe was going to be with us here tonight, but he had to work last minute, Willie, because Joe was going to be on the screen here with us. Mm-hmm. But there are a couple things that stuck out to me. One specifically that I think he said in that video, there was 105 Pro Bowl honors for offensive tackles seasons, basically. 91 were at left tackle, 14 were at right tackle. Of those 14, 4 were you, Willie. So that's something I had not known until we put that video together.
I didn't either, but when I thought about it, if I think back from 96, 96, 97, 98, my first 3 years, I had a good second year. 98, my third year I had a good year, but 99 through 01, I had a really, to me, great years. I mean, I knew I didn't give up a sack. I knew I only had one pressure given up in those 3 years, But during those times, that was the reign of some of the greatest left tackles in all of football, And he's right. We were all fighting for Pro Bowls. I mean, in my division alone, there was Tony Baselli, John Ogden, Brad Hopkins from Tennessee Titans for a minute. Made a couple Pro Bowls, but those guys were all left tackles. I want to say 1 year, Leon Searcy for the Jaguars, he made one, but then after that, I was kind of fighting. Lincoln Kennedy, the right tackle for the Raiders, and I remember the 2002 Super Bowl. I was an alternate in 2001 and 2, and I'm watching the Super Bowl. And back then, the Pro Bowl was played the week after the Super Bowl. If you guys remember that, and I'm watching Lincoln Kennedy drag his leg. He's dragging his leg playing the Super Bowl. He can barely move. I said, "Oh my goodness!" I said, "I know good and well he's going to pull out of the Pro Bowl. I'm going to be in the Pro Bowl next week." He can barely move. I want to say they was playing the Bucks. He can barely move in the Super Bowl. I knew for sure he would pull out, and my luck, he didn't pull out. He played the next week, and I always said, man, I should just pay Lincoln about $25,000 to pull out the Pro Bowls. I think $25,000 was the Pro Bowl's winners' earnings. I should have paid him that and got in there, man. So, but I always regretted that I didn't do that, because I did it for Marcus. My man Marcus from Auburn, played for the Chargers. Jeez,
I'm not sure.
I got a brain cramp right now.
That's all right.
But I did it for him, and I did it for free, because I was kind of injured a little bit, and I wanted a fellow Auburn guy, Marcus McNeil. I did it for Marcus to make his first Pro Bowl. It was my fourth one. I pulled out, but I still went to the trip. And I always regretted that I didn't call Lincoln Kennedy and ask him, "Hey, man, I'm gonna give you $25,000 to pull out. Don't play in the game, because you can barely move right now." Because in today's game, everybody pulls out and everybody got Pro Bowls, because the guys don't want to go to Orlando instead of going to Hawaii.
Right.
Yeah, definitely a different time. But going back to Sunday, Willie, first of all, thank you for joining us there in person. And as we alluded to on the show, 200 plus Bengal fans there. And you were gracious and kind, took pictures, signed autographs for every one of them. And that, I know, was the highlight of the trip for many of them. With that being said, Willie, nothing's going to compare to the day when you're finally in the Hall of Fame, as you deserve. But tell us what last Saturday meant to you. Where did that rank up into your playing career?
Man, very, very high, very high. Like making the Pro Bowl, the first time the Bengals, in 2005 making the playoffs, because I'd never been to Canton, and I told myself I would never go unless I was, being inducted. And so for me to go up there and have the event, and I actually thought more guys were going to be up there. I was thinking I was going to see Kenny and a couple other guys up there. But just to be in Canada and to see, to be on those grounds, and to see that those Bengal fans, you guys are honoring not just myself, but my teammates, Corey Dillon, Ocho, Kenny Riley, Kenny Anderson, Max Montoya, Lamar Parrish, all these guys being honored. And I just wish more guys would have seen that and be able to experience, because to me, it was one of the best, and I'm not lying to you, it was one of the best experiences I've ever had, because I wasn't expecting that. Like I said, I always told myself I wouldn't go to Canton until, unless I was inducted. So me being able to go up there and see that and have the event, it ranks very, very high, fellas. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it.
Tom, you have a question. Thank you, Willie. And again, thank you for joining us and being so gracious with the fans. Tom, go ahead with your question.
Willie, it was an honor to get to meet and talk to you last week. One question in talking to the people that are involved in the Hall of Fame process, you were the best tackle of your era. And like I said last week, I think as you look through all the information, you're probably the best offensive lineman, period, of your era. Why do you think there's still that stigma around a right tackle versus a left tackle? A right tackle has to do everything a left tackle has to do. It's been a right tackle over the last several decades that blocks J.J. Watt, Reggie White, T.J. Watt. Like the old NFL adage, from the left to right, up the middle they come to get to the quarterback.
Yes.
You're an unbelievable run blocker, but Joe put it in his video. second best pass blocking efficiency, of all time. Why that stigma against the right tackles?
Great question. Anthony Munoz, Anthony Munoz, and Lawrence Taylor, and a lot of older media people who haven't changed the narrative of what dominant linemen are. Anthony was so dominant in the '80s, and everyone was so afraid of Lawrence Taylor that the defensive coordinators all duplicated, getting a guy to rush over the left tackle. So the offensive people all wanted to go find him another Anthony Munoz, and so everybody got the left tackle. So the media people started to write about the dominance of Lawrence Taylor and those right defensive ends, and offenses kind of combating that and bringing out stellar left tackles. But then it changed. It changed mid to late '90s, early 2000s, because like you say, guys started coming from everywhere. And I told Katie Blackburn one year, I was doing my second contract with the Bengals, and Katie said, "Well, you're playing right tackle." I said, "Katie, that's you guys' fault. You all moved me over there because we didn't have anybody. We didn't have anybody to fight those monsters on the right side. Because if you guys remember, in the '90s, the bigger defensive ends were on the right side, and we had guys named, you guys remember Melvin Tootin, Kevin Sargent. The Bengals came to me and said, "Look, man, we don't have anybody to play on that right side. Those guys are not strong enough to do that." And I'll never forget Dan Wilkinson, Big Daddy Wilkinson. He stopped me on the airplane one day. He said, "Willie, don't allow these people to move you to the right tackle." I said, "Why?" He said, "Because you will never get the recognition nor the money." I said, "Well, Big Daddy, I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna change that." And that was kind of my, Jeff Hobson know this because I told him all the time while I was playing. I wanted to change the narrative of right tackles. But the problem is the people who wrote about it in the book The Blind Side and the movies and all that stuff in the '80s, who wrote about dominant left tackles and the right defensive ends, those people never changed the narrative from saying, "Hey, these guys are blocking just as many people on the other side." Because I said a joke one time. I said, "Okay, if I'm playing on the right side, so that means Carson Palmer can see, according to media people, he should be able to see my rusher. So I should be able to not block Julius Peppers, and Carson should be able to see him and get away, right?" No, that's ridiculous. Like, he get killed because if Carson turns his head to the left side, he now can't see my side of the offensive line. So guys start coming from everywhere, and I think until the media people kind of change the narrative of what what dominant play is and what like I say, I consider myself the top 5 in my era, but we were all fighting for the same Pro Bowl spot. So only 3 guys can get named to the Pro Bowl team, and only 2 guys can get named to the All Pro team. So I think not just myself, I think there's a lot of media people that should look into myself and a lot of more guys who didn't have necessarily the accolades and really see that guys are really playing dominant football, but only a certain amount of guys can get picked. So.
Well, look, Willie, I just want you to know we appreciate you more than you could ever imagine. This fan base now, Willie, is more energized with the knowledge that they can make a positive impact for our Bengal legends like you through social media, through things that we can do and positively and proactively to help out through this process.
Yeah.
Bengals Nation is here for you, Willie, and we love you. We want to say thank you so much for everything you do for Bengals Nation, and tell moms we said happy birthday. And I know you guys had a fun day today with her.
We'll do. We did. Thank you very much.
All right, Willie.
Thanks, Willie.
Hey, Willie. Be good.
I mean, he took time out of Mom's birthday today to be on with us, guys. So that's a special thing. So
awesome.
James. That was a great question, man, because you could tell he was very emotional a lot of the time up there Saturday. He didn't know what to expect. I tried to explain to him what was going to happen. He didn't know until he got there, brother. And when he walked into tent and sat down, and you had over 200 Bengal fans chanting "Willie, Willie,"
standing and chanting,
standing ovation for Willie.
Yeah.
you tear up early in that event. So.
And along those lines, we had fun at the event too, and all of our trivia questions we had were around Willie. So I think we had 10 of them. We had great door prizes as kind of a thank you to the fans that showed up. Some were multiple choice. Some were just raise your hand and answer. And I think Willie got a kick out of those too. So that was a lot of fun. A lot of cool prizes that were given out. Thank you to all those who put those together, and just special. To see that picture of Willie, summarize the shock and as he said, gratefulness of what you guys and gals did as Bengals fans, and I think it was better than what he thought. So thank you to everyone, and all those that won the cool raffle prizes with your trivia knowledge. Congratulations to you as well.
Good stuff. Let's go ahead and close it out here, Tom. Anything in closing?
Now, as we're looking forward to the coming season, like you mentioned before, Jim, Bengal Nation, we can't let up. All the positive information and vibes on Ken Anderson, Willie Anderson, and Ken Riley. Keep putting it out there on social media. Keep copying the voters that Jimmy has said, and that information will we'll float it out there and put out. And also to everybody who watches every week, thank you, and a promise from me, it's going to be addressed in our post-production show that we do every Sunday night. This will be the last time any of us has the moniker jackpot in front of our name.
Oh Lord, don't go there.
So let's go to him now. Let's go to the chef.
Hey guys. So happy Canada Day this Thursday to all of our Canadian fans that watch the show. And what is it? 4th of July for you guys? What's the
Independence Day? Yes.
Independence Day.
Yeah.
Great movie. Happy I mean, it's a good movie. I didn't realize it was that good to have a whole day for it. But happy Independence Day to everybody down there. Looking forward to getting down this season and meeting a bunch of these regular viewers that we have watching. Looking forward to it.
I guess that's me next. Excited for what I just popped up on the screen there. August 28th, our next event. So you have almost 2 months to prepare. Got a lot of feedback. The memorabilia section has certainly got a lot of interest. People pulling stuff out of their closets, people looking for stuff on eBay, looking for stuff at garage sales. And again, if you make a weekend out of it, come the end of August there to do the memorabilia roadshow. And then the game the next day, 16 lots. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you to our friends at Houday Nation for their support. Super strong on social media. A lot of them there in attendance at the Hall of Fame event. And again, thank you to all those that attended last Saturday. The Massillon High School, I think after like 60 days of finally trying to say Massillon, I've got it right. What a first-class facility that was, from the stadium to the field to trophies to the big tiger to the pictures in there. Thank you to those folks who opened up their facilities last Saturday morning for people to check that out first. And again, the Hall of Fame was first class, first time going through that, first time there, like 75% of the people. And we appreciate all your support. And as we said, keep it up. Let's not let our foot off the gas. Let's just keep rolling and pushing to get these men enshrined there in Canton. Jimmy?
Good stuff, man. It was awesome. One more thing about the Massillon High School thing. Coach Nate Moore used to coach here in Cincinnati, LaSalle High School for a couple years, and just is from the Cincinnati area. Loves Grupo's barbecue chips. So we just kind of posted on social media that if you're going up there, grab some barbecue chips before you go up. And sure enough, you did your thing, Bengal fans, because he filled up an entire locker that we posted a picture on. We filled it up with barbecue chips up there. So he's got pretty much a year's supply worth of barbecue chips because of you guys. So thank you so much for having fun with that and getting those to Coach Nate.
Do you think Jamie can deep fry those as part of his new restaurant?
Yeah.
Deep fried grippos coming to Bengal
what
Gym.
happens.
Hey,
Let's see
Jamie,
what
if you come down, we need those at the first tailgate you attend.
Sounds good.
Deep fried grippos. You heard it here
Good.
first.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Double fried. Jeez,
double fried.
So, guys, hey, just like you said, we had planned last year after we ended the first episode, like this was going to kind of be our downtime, but there's things popping up, the Jungle to the Hall posting review and some of the things. So next week, July 4th, we are not going to be on air. We will be back July 11th. We've got some special things coming up here that we'll fill you in on here in social media in the next week or two. But guys, hey, no show next week, but we appreciate everybody watching. This thing keeps growing and growing, and Bengals Nation has just been outstanding. See you guys at 16 Lots on August 28th, 5 to 7 o'clock. Bring your memorabilia. It's going to be if you've ever seen Antique Roadshow, that's exactly how we're going to set this damn thing up. It is going to be a lot of fun. David Fulcher will be in attendance. There's going to be some other really big surprises that day at 16 Lot as well. So we appreciate everybody for watching. We appreciate everybody's pushing up at the Hall of Fame for the Jungle to the Hall and being there and making that such a huge success. Local and national media, everybody was talking about it because of you guys, and we appreciate you. We will see. Have a great 4th of July. Jamie, what's it called in Canada? Happy Canada's Day or something?
Happy Canada Day, Thursday. Yes, sir.
Happy Canada Day to all of our
Happy
Canadian
Canada
Bengals.
Day, Jamie.
Yep. And then we will see everybody on the 11th of July. We love you guys. Who day? We'll see you on the 11th.
Who day?
Who day?